Hi everybody, so today I'm going to show you how to make this little rubber duck. So it's what it looks like. I will be making mine exactly like this, and he sits quite nicely. Pick any colors that you'd like to use. It doesn't have to be the yellow. This is what I originally made, and you can kind of dress it up, putting bows, whatever you'd like. For this, you're going to need about 460 bands for the body, 13 bands for the beak. You're going to need 2 white bands for the eyes. I'm going to be using 2 dark blue 4mm pony beads. If you don't have the pony beads, pick 2 colors for the eyes. You're also going to use 2 black bands for the eyelashes, optional of course. We're going to use our hook, 1 stitch marker. You're going to need some stuffing to fill it, and I'll be using my Loom just to start us off on the magic rings. So I'm going to get started. Round 1 of the wings, I'm going to show you how to do one, and then you're going to pause the video and make yourself another. We are going to do 5 single crochets in our magic ring. So use your loom, turn it upside down, grab 1 band and wrap it around 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Now with your hook, reach in. You're going to grab 1 band and bring it through. Oops, not like that, like a slip knot. Grab the end and bring your band over, bring it to the side. Go back in for your second stitch on your hook and bring these 2 bands over, bring it to the side. Go back in, grab the end, bring the 2 bands over and bring it to the side. Go back in for your 4th stitch on your hook and bring these 2 bands over, bring it to the side. Go back in for your 5th on your hook and bring these 2 bands over. You're going to attach a stitch marker to the band that's around your hook and remove. You should have 5 stitches. Move your bands around. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Round 2 of the wings, we're going to add 2 bands to each chain around. So 2, 2, 2, 2. Repeat this 5 times, and at the end of round 2 you'll have 10 stitches. Going in your first chain, you're going to bring 2 bands through one at a time. So going back in with your second band, your next chain with 2. Back in. Your next chain with 2. Back in. Your next chain, I mean. And your last chain. You should have 10 stitches, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Remove your stitch marker, attach it to the band that's around your hook, and just move your bands around. Round 3 of the wings, our last round, we're just adding 1 band in each chain around. So at the end of round 3, you'll have 10 stitches. So I'm going in my first chain with 1. Our next chain with 1, and just go all the way around with 1 band in each chain. Your last band, you're going to do a slip knot to tie it closed. And our last band, you're going to bring it through all the loops that are on your hook. Remove your stitch marker, and now we're going to add 4 sewing bands to have it closed. So put your original slip knot to the side, and we're going to go through these 2 chains here on either side. So with your hook, you're going to grab a band and bring it through. Grab the other end and do a slip knot. Moving on to the other side, through both chains on either side, bring a band through. Right beside that, 2 chains on either side, bring a band through and do a slip knot. And now one more, we're going on the side now. And bring a band through. This is what you should have. So please pause the video, rewind the video to the beginning, and make yourself another wing. Round 1 of the head, we are going to do 5 single crochets in the magic ring. So I'm going to be using my loom, so turn your loom upside down. We're going to take a single band and wrap it around the bottom peg 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Now with your hook, you're going to bring the 5 bands through one at a time. So go in with your hook, bring 1 band and bring it through as if you're doing a slip knot on your hook, and bring this band over. Bring it to the side. Go back in for your second band, bring it through on your hook, and bring these 2 bands over. Bring it to the side. Go back in for your third band, bring it through on your hook, and bring these 2 bands over. Bring it to the side. Go back in for your fourth band, bring it through on your hook, and bring these 2 bands over. Bring it to the side. Go back in for your 5th band, your last, bring it through on your hook, and bring these 2 bands over. You want to attach your stitch marker to the band that's around your hook and remove. You should have 5 stitches. You just want to move your bands around so that they're nice and even. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is on your hook. For round 2 of the head, all we're going to do is add 2 bands to each chain around. So I'm going to be using 10 bands, so at the end of round 2, you're going to have 10 stitches. So I'm going to go in the first chain, and I'm going to bring 2 bands through one at a time. Bring it through on your hook and slide. Go back in with your second band and bring it through on your hook and slide. Your next chain, you're going to add 2 bands one at a time. Go back in with your second band. Now your next chain with 2. You're just going to complete this pattern all the way around. Back in. Your next chain. Back in. And your last chain with 2. Should have 10 stitches. Don't count where your stitch marker is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 is on your hook. Round 3 of the head, the pattern is 1, 2, 1, 2, all the way around. You're going to repeat this pattern 5 times. So at the end of round 3, you're going to have 15 stitches. So I'm going to go in the first chain, you want to remove your stitch marker and attach it to the band. Sorry about that. Going in your first chain with 1. Your second chain with 2. 1 at a time. Back in. Your next chain, we're going to start again with 1, and next chain adding 2. Back in, and just repeat 1 and then 2 in the next. Continue this pattern all the way around. Back in, and the last has 2. You should have 15 stitches. You can remove your stitch marker and attach it to the band around your hook. Round 4 of the head, the pattern is 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, all the way around. Where your stitch marker is, you're going to add 2 rubber bands. You're going to repeat this pattern 5 times, and at the end of round 4, you're going to have 20 stitches. So going in your first chain, not where it's getting pulled, with 1 rubber band. So you're just adding 2 rubber bands on every 3rd stitch. Second chain with 1. Third chain, we're going to add 2, 1 at a time. Back in, and repeat 1, 1 in the next, and then 2 in the next. So you're just going around with the exact same pattern. Repeat 1, next chain 1, next chain with 2. Back in, and again 1, 1, 2. And one more time. Back in. The last chain has 2. Oops. Just going to pick up my stitches because I dropped them. So you should have 20 stitches. Remove your stitch marker and attach it to the band around your hook. Round 5 of the head, we're just adding a single band to each chain around. So it's just 1, 1, 1, 1, 1 all the way around. You're going to use 20 bands, so at the end of round 5 you're going to have 20 stitches. So I'm going to go on my first chain, not where it's getting pulled, adding 1 rubber band. And 1 in the next, and just adding 1 all the way around. If at any, I'm sorry, I need to work a little bit faster. If at any point in time I'm going too fast, just pause the video and come back to me when you're done. So I'm just going in each chain, adding 1 rubber band. You should have 20 stitches. Remove your stitch marker and attach it to the band around your hook. For round 6, I'm going to be adding the eyes now, and I will be using white bands inside. For round 6, you're just adding a single band to each chain around, so you'll be using 20 bands. But I'm going to use 2 white for the eyes, and then you're going to pick 2 colored bands or 2 4mm pony beads. I'll be using the darker shade blue. I'm going to be adding the eyes to chains 9 and chains 13. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I'm just going to remove a yellow, add a white. 10, 11, 12, and 13. So if you don't have the pony beads, I'm just going to show you how to do the eyes now. So just take your hook, the head here, and just move it up. And just take a single band of the eye color that you'd like to use and wrap it around your hook 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Now you're just going to slide this onto a white band. And you're going to be putting that on chains 9. For the other one, wrap it around 4 times. 1, 2, 3, and 4, and slide it onto a white band. If you have pony beads, just squeeze the band, push it through, now when I get to the white bands, I will be doing a slip knot, or we call it a slip stitch, and then the yellow, when we change color, we'll be doing another slip stitch. So I'm going to start not in the chain where it's getting pulled, the first chain with 1 band. So I'm just going to count 9 stitches, so that's 1, 2, 1 in each chain, 3, next chain 4, next chain 5, 6, 7, 8, and then your next chain we're going to add the eye. So grab the end, I'm going to put on my finger, and I'm going to bring it through all the bands that are on my hook. So 1, 2, grab the end, and it's exactly like a slip knot. Now continue counting 10 in the next chain. You want to do a slip knot again, so bring it through all the bands. 10. Now just crochet normally. 11, 12, and your next chain is 13, so we're adding the eye, and you're going to do a slip stitch, bringing it through all the bands that are on your hook. Grab the end and slide. Now you're going to continue going around with 1 band in each chain, but my next chain I'm going to do a slip stitch again, bringing it through all the bands, grab the end and slide. Now just normal on your hook and slide. Continue till you hit the stitch marker. You have 20 stitches still. Remove your stitch marker and attach it to the band around your hook. For round 7 and 8, all we're going to do is add 1 band in each chain around. So 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way around. Each pile has 20 bands, so at the end of each round you should have 20 stitches. I'm going to do round 7 with you, and then you're going to pause the video to do round 8. We are going to go around in each chain, but just so you know, when you get to the eye band, this is not a chain. This is your chain. So this one, do not go through. You're going to go through this chain. I'm going to go around, so don't go in the chain where it's getting pulled. Your first chain with 1. Up, your next chain with 1. When I get to the eyes, I'll go a little slower, because when you do a slip stitch, it looks like you have an extra chain, but the first one is just your knot, so you don't want to go through that. Now I'm at the eye, so I'm not going to go through here. I'm going to go through this chain and bring the band through. Now you did a slip stitch with your yellow band, so don't go through here. You're going through here with 1 band. Next chain with 1. Next chain, 1. I'm at the eye again, so do not go through here. You're going through the second little chain here. And your next chain, you should have a little knot here. Don't go through that. Now you can just go around to the end. You may want to count just to make sure that you have 20 stitches. You can remove your stitch marker and then attach it to the band that's around your hook. Now I'm going to show you how to do the beak. What we want to do though is secure the head, so we don't want it to fall apart. So if you do have a C-clip, you just want to secure the C-clip to the side here. If not, just remove your stitch marker and undo the last band. So just remove it. I'm going to go back in that chain and I'm going to bring this band through all of the loops that are on my hook, just to hold it in place. Now I'm going to be using the orange bands for the beak, and I'm going to do 6 single crochets in the magic ring. We're going to make a half a circle for the beak. So you're going to take a single band, but you're going to wrap it around the bottom peg 4 times. So 1, 2, 3, and 4. Go in with your hook, bring 1 band through, as if we're doing the slip knot, on your hook, and bring this band over and bring it to the side. Go back in, your second band, bring through, on your hook, and bring these 2 bands over. Bring it to the side. Go back in, next band, bring it through, and these 2 bands over. Bring it to the side. Go back in, for your 4th band, bring it through, on your hook, and 2 bands over. Bring it to the side. Your 5th band, bring these 2 bands over. Bring it to the side. And your 6th band, your last. We don't need a stitch marker here. Remove off the loom, and you should have 6 stitches. Do not fix it where you're just having a half a circle here. So this is how we want it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now with your fingers, just secure the bands here, remove your hook, and go in from the opposite direction. Turn it upside down, and we're going to use 5 bands. 2, 3, 4, and 5. 5. Our last band, we're going to be doing a slip knot. So I'm going to go on the first chain, and I'm just going to add 1 rubber band to each chain around. So right where your band is, you're just going in that same chain, and you're going to bring a band through the chain, the other end on your hook, and slide. Your next chain with 1. Your next 1. The next. And your last chain, do a slip knot, through all the bands. And this is what you should have. Now I'm going to attach 2 sewing bands. This is what we're going to use to sew it onto the face. I'm going to attach a single band through this chain right here, so it's even with this band, and I'm going to attach the other band, a slip knot, through just 2 of the loops here in the center magic circle. So with my hook, I'm just going to grab 2 because you should have 4 that we wrapped down the bottom peg. So I'm just grabbing 2. And I'm going to take a single band, but I'm going to double it. And bring it through and do a slip knot. Now, on the other side, the chain right at the side, you're going to bring a band, but you're going to double it. And do a slip knot. I'm just going to fix the eyes now, so I'm just going to turn it inside out. And I'm going to push the bead or the bands through the little V of the white band here. So just push it through. On the other side. Now if you'd like to attach some eyelashes, I'm going to use 2 black bands and I'm going to use a pair of scissors. I'm going to do a slip knot with one of the black bands to this band here, this white one. So if you're holding it like me, so it's going to come on this side, I'm going to do a slip knot, grabbing the band, bring a black band through, and grab the other end, and do a slip knot. On the other side, so on this side now, go through the white, grab a black band, and bring it through, slip knot. And now you're just going to find the black band here and bring it through on the side. And then you can just give it a little cut. We don't want them long. And now to attach the beak. You're going to see that your beak is starting to curl. The curl part is going to go down, so don't have it upside down. I'm going to use 1 sewing band, yellow. I'm going to bring this end right in here, this end in here, so I'm kind of even with the bottom of the eye. And you're going to have 3 holes here. So 1, 2, and 3. That's what I'm going to bring through. So you probably could just push right through the holes. So I'm just going to go upside down. I just hope you can see. I'm going to bring the band through. I can let go. Right in the center, I'm going to bring that band through. That's here, the 2 little loops. And right beside the eye. I'm going to turn it around, and I'm going to start with our original slip knot, so the 1. Now I'm going to grab these 2 loops here in the center and side it through. Now I'm going to grab these 2 loops making sure you grab both and slide it through. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through this loop right here just to secure it, and I'm going to catch part of the beak here. So I'm just kind of out. You can just do a slip knot. You don't have to. I'm going to grab one end just to secure it. I'm going to bring a band through the yellow to match the body, bring it through, and I'm just going to go through that hole again and grab the other end. I've done it several different ways. Just do the way that you feel comfortable just to secure it. And now you're going to see that your half circle curled. Now, because when I'm sewing the next couple of rounds, this band is going to be in my way, so I'm just going to go in and just hide it. Just so when I'm sewing, I'm not catching it. Round 9 of the head, I'm just going to undo my slip knot here and attach my stitch marker again. So I'm just going to take it out and I go through, back on, slide and attach my stitch marker. For round 9, the pattern is going to be, we're going to make it smaller the round, so it's going to be 1, 1, you're going to stitch 3 and 4 together. 1, 1, 3 and 4 together. So let's go in our first chain, not where it's getting pulled, with 1 rubber band. So every 3rd and 4th stitch you're going to stitch together, and at the end of round 9 you're going to have 15 stitches. So your next stitch with 1. Now take 3 and 4 and stitch together. I'll do that a little bit slower. You're going to go through stitch 3, turn your hook, and go through stitch 4. Grab your band, and you're going to bring it through those 2 stitches, those 2 chains. You're going to move the head to the center of that band, grab the end, and slide. Your next chain, we're going to repeat the pattern with 1. 1 in the next. Take 3 and 4 and stitch together. Bring a band through and repeat. 1, 1, 3 and 4 together. And again. Three and 4. One, 1, 3 and 4 together. You have 15 stitches. Remove your stitch marker and attach it to the band that's around your hook. Round 10 of the head, we're making this round smaller. The pattern is 1, 2 and 3 together. 1, 2 and 3 together. Repeat this pattern 5 times. At the end of this round you will have 10 stitches. This is our last round for the head, so your last band you want to do a slip knot to tie it closed. Going in your first chain with 1. Now take chain 2 and chain 3 and stitch together. Repeat 1 with 1 band. Take chains 2 and chain 3 and stitch together. Repeat 1 2 and 3 together. And then just continue. The last 2, stitching together, and do a slip knot. Bring it through all of the bands, grab the end to tie it off. Remove your stitch marker. Now you want to add some stuffing, not too much. This is probably too much. That should be okay. Round 1 of the body, I'm going to use my loom again, turn it upside down, and we're going to do 5 single crochets in the magic ring. So I'm going to take one band and I'm going to wrap it around the bottom peg 3 times. 1, 2, and 3. Now with your hook, you're going to bring each band through. Grabbing one, bring it through, on your hook, and bring this band over and bring it to the side. Go back in for your second band, bring it through, on your hook, and bring these 2 bands over. Bring it to the side. Go back in for your third, on your hook, and bring these 2 bands over. Bring it to the side. Go back in for your fourth, on your hook, and these 2 bands over. Bring it to the side. Go back in for your fifth, on your hook, and these 2 bands over. Attach your stitch marker to the band that's around your hook. Remove, and you should have 5 stitches. I'm going to move my bands around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 is on your hook. Round 2 of the body, we're going to increase on every stitch. So I'm just going to add 2 bands to each chain around. 2, 2, 2, 2. Repeat this pattern 5 times, and at the end of round 2 you'll have 10 stitches. So going in your first chain, let me pull it out so you can see a bit. You're going to add 2 rubber bands one at a time. Go back in, bring a band through. Moving on to the next chain, you're going to add 2 again, one at a time. Back in. Next chain with 2. Back in for your second band. Next chain. Back in. And your last chain. Back in. Should have 10 stitches. Don't count where your stitch marker is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Remove your stitch marker, attach it to the band that's around your hook, and you can move your bands around. Round 3 of the body, the pattern is 1, 2, 1, 2. You're going to repeat this pattern 5 times, and at the end of round 3 you will have 15 stitches. Where your stitch marker is, you're adding 2 rubber bands. So going in your first chain with 1. Your second chain will have 2. Back in and repeat. 1, next chain with 2. Again, 1, and then 2 in the next. Go back in, add your second rubber band, and repeat. And your last chain has 2. You should have 15 stitches. Move your stitch marker, add it to the band that's around your hook. Round 4 of the body, the pattern is 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2. Repeat this pattern 5 times, and at the end of this round you'll have 20 stitches. So on every third stitch you're just adding 2 rubber bands. Where your stitch marker is, there'll be 2 bands in that stitch, in that chain. So going in your first chain, not where it's getting pulled, adding 1 band. Your next chain with 1. And then your third chain, you'll have 2. Back in. And just repeat. 1, 1, 2. Back in. And repeat. 1, 1, 2. And just continue this pattern all the way around. You should have 20 stitches. Remove your stitch marker and add it to the band that's around your hook. For rounds 5 to rounds 11 of the body, we're just adding 1 band in each chain. So 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way around. Each pile has 20 bands, so at the end of each round you should have 20 stitches. I'm going to do round 5 with you, and then you're going to pause the video and come back to me when you're finished all the rounds. So I'm going to go in my first chain and add 1 band. Next chain, 1. And just continue all the way. You can remove your stitch marker, or if you're adding C-clips, which I am, I'm just going to add another one in case I get distracted, and you're going to continue with the rest of the rounds and come back to me when you're done. Round 12 of the body, we are going to start to make the circle, the round smaller. So the pattern is going to be 1, 1, 3, and 4 together. 1, 1, 3, and 4 together. You're going to repeat this pattern 5 times, and at the end of round 12 you will have 15 stitches. So I'm going to go on my first chain with 1 band. My next chain with 1. Now take chain 3 and chain 4 and stitch together. Bring it through. Repeat 1, 1, 3, and 4 and stitch together. And just repeat this pattern all the way around. 1, 1, 3, and 4 together. And again. 1, 1, 3, and 4 together. You should have 15 stitches. Remove your stitch marker, add it to the band around your hook. For round 13 of the body, I want to decrease twice. So at the end of round 13, I want to have 13 stitches. So the pattern that I have, it might be a little bit confusing, so I'm just going to do the first row with you. I'm going to do 1, 1, 1, 4, and 5 together. So I'm going to go in my first chain with 1. Chain 2, 1. Chain 3, 1. Now 4 and 5 together. Now I'm going to go 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and then 11 and 12 together. So in my next chain would be 6, chain 6, bring 1 band through. Chain 7 is 1. Chain 8, chain 9, chain 10. Now take 11 and 12 and stitch together. Bring it through. And now you have 3 chains left, 1, 2, and 3. You're going to add 1 band in each chain. 1, the next chain, and the last. You should have 13 stitches. Remove your stitch marker and attach it to the band around your hook. Round 14 of the body, the pattern is going to be 1, 1, 3, and 4 together. 1, 1, 3, and 4 together. You're only going to repeat that 3 times. Your last band, your last chain, 1 band will be going through where your stitch marker is. So at the end of round 14, you'll have 10 stitches. So going in your first chain with 1. Your second chain, 1. Now take chain 3 and 4 and stitch together. Repeat. 1, 1, 3, and 4 together. You're going to do that one more time. 1, 1, 3, and 4 together. And your last chain, you're just adding 1 band. You have 10 stitches, remove your stitch marker, attach it to the band that's around your hook, and now we're just going to add some stuffing. So I'm just going to move the bands around to release some tension. Now you're going to get some stuffing. Don't overfill it. I'm going to move this into the middle of my hook. I'm going to just flatten it out and just remove whatever's sticking out. And that should be okay. Round 15 of the body, we're going to close this off. So the pattern is just going to be 1 and 2 together, 1 and 2 together. Repeat this 5 times. And then your last band, you're going to do a slip knot. So going in the first chain, chain 1, now take chain 2 and stitch together. Bring it through on your hook. Repeat 1 and 2 together. One and 2. One and 2. And your last 2. Do a slip knot, so bring it through. You can remove your stitch marker. And we're just going to flatten it out. If you have too many big holes, that's not really a hole, I'll find one right here. All you're going to do is follow the elastic with your hook, grab the little slip knot here, and just pull it closed. I'm going to do another one. That's just tension. Now we want this point here, so I want some stuffing at the end. So I'm just going to, with my hook, bring it to the end. Now we're going to be attaching the body parts together. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to do the head onto the body. In order to do that, I'm going to attach 8 slip knots to the chains around. So I am going to, there's our original slip knot. I'm not going to go right beside our slip knot, I'm just going to go at the chain above or beside. I'm going to grab a band, so I'm going to be using 8 bands and just doing slip knots to each chain around. The next chain. These are going to be our sewing bands to attach to the body. And our last one. So this is what it looks like so far. Now to attach the head to the body, find which side you'd like to use, and you're just going to flatten it out. I'm going to start to sew this head right on, like on the front here, not where our slip knot is. I'm going to start in the front. So have your head placed, and you want to have it about here. So the center of your head is kind of in the center of the body. So if you sew over here, it's not going to sit properly. It's just going to fall over. kind of like that. Now to turn into the front. You're going to find your magic circle. It's the little flower here, the nice and neat one. That you want in the center of the body. So mine's not. So there's my magic circle. So our first band that I'm going to grab is right here. And because it's not centered with the face, I'm going to grab a band right beside, so just kind of off to the side of the magic circle. I'm going to go through the loops on the body, grab that slip knot and bring it through. I'm just going to go right beside it, grab this slip knot and bring it through. Now this I'm just going to go like grab the stitches right where the slip knots are, and don't go into the center. You kind of want to be exactly where the stitches fall, so where the head is. So grab and bring it through on your hook and slide through the next loop. I'm going to start turning my next slip knot and slide. So my knot falls here, so I'm going to grab right under it. Just going to move this over, grab the stitches on the body, bring that slip knot through and slide. Now I'm going to grab keep turning. We have two more. And one more. So just make sure that you like the placement. If you don't, just unravel it. Now all I'm going to do is, with a single band, I'm going to tie this off. So I'm going to do a slip knot. So I'm just going to grab right beside on the body, and I'm going to bring a single band through. And then you can just hide the band, or you might want to just make sure that it sits first. So all you have to do is just push down the back and it should sit fine. Go through. And I'm just going to hide this slip knot here. And I'm pulling stuffing, of course. Just clean it up. We're going to attach the wings. So you want them basically on the side of the body, and we're going to be sewing straight. So with your hook, I'm just going to go about here. I'm going to have my magic circle at the center, the middle of the head. I'm going to go in the first, with my first slip knot, I'm going to grab through. So I'm going to go through the body, grab the slip knot and bring it through. The next row on the body here, grab the slip knot and bring it through. I'm going to go grab the body here, bring my slip knot, bring it through. Just try to go as straight as you can. And that's good. I'm going to turn it around, and now I'm just going to grab right here on the edge, and I'm going to do a slip knot. Grab a band and bring it through. Grab the other end and tie it off. Now for the other side, again, I'm going to make sure that my magic circle is in the middle of the head here. You want to make sure that you're starting even with the other wing. And go straight. As straight as you can. Just making sure that they are even. And that's okay. I'm just going to go right at the edge here on the wing and bring a band through all of the loops that are on your hook. Grab the other end and do a slip knot. And now you can just hide the slip knots. You can just go through the wings or the body, grab the slip knot and just hide it. And it's done. I hope you enjoyed Looming with Cheryl. Please subscribe down below. I have a lot more designs to load, and I will see you next time with another. Bye for now.